Joining us in a moment here is going to be our friend Peter Rosenberg from NYC, WWE, Hot 97, ESPN New York, ESPN, Mothership. Peter does it all. Joining us now. We got to start here. Is baby girl changing your schedule, Peter? Are you joining us early today?
You mean, is that because of baby girl that I'm joining you early?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
It's a myriad of things right now.
Okay.
Today is I'm actually early today because at 1:30 I have this vocal therapy that I started ever since I lost my voice.
Oh wow, yeah, you told us.
I thought you were trying to learn how to sing, Pete.
So it's been a wacky time. Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to talk to you guys. So remember, I told you last week when I called that I was going to a wedding of my friends Ellie and Jake
in DC. Yeah,
in DC. So they live up here, but so Ellie is a Washingtonian. Whole family grew up with season tickets to the Redskins. Big Washingtonian. Jake has become a converted Commanders fan, so much so that he listens to you guys like every day, which I did not realize.
Wow.
Jake, shout out to Jake.
What up, Jake?
And no, it gets better than that. And told me, quote, his dream would be for when you guys are up here sometime, he belongs to a fancy golf club up here in Westchester for the four of us to go play around.
Sold.
Just tell me when.
Yeah, that's easy.
It could be tell me the day. Monday, Sunday through Saturday. I take it off.
So we got to make these plans. We'll go celebrate their wedding and play around.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Cool.
That'll be awesome. Congrats to the happy couple. I'm sure it was an awesome affair. Not so awesome timing for old Tom Thibodeau, though, huh? Are you surprised the Knicks canned their coach?
Yes, I am. I am surprised. I cannot tell you whether it's a good decision or a bad decision because I truly think that only can be said once you find out who the hire is. You know, and then frankly, it may take longer than that, which I know is really boring sports talk radio, and I'd probably get more appearances on First Take if I was able to just make a hard decision about things like this and start yelling and screaming. But the fact of the matter is, you can make an argument for both cases as to why it seems unfair and also as to why it makes sense. But I'm not going to be able to make a call on this and what it means for this organization until I find out what direction they're going in. But yes, I did not think once he made the conference finals, I was like, oh no, he's good. So I am surprised.
But I think when you look at how they performed, and I'd say body language does a lot. You watch how they were performing. When they need to adjust offensively, he was lost on the sideline. And I think when you look at his career as a whole, it seems like he's never going to get them exactly where they want to go.
I don't think that's unfair. I think offensively he's kind of dreadful, frankly. I think that team's offense just really waned a lot, and I would be like, what are they doing? Like, I would just be lost as to what they were offensively. I think that's completely fair. I just, sometimes you just can't help but feel for people in the situation. That guy loves this job and really cared deeply about this team. And he did. You can't help but think, like, guys, tell me this. As everything that we're saying is true. The offense was bad. Maybe this was the limit. All those things. If they don't blow that lead in game one, if Tyrese Halliburton's crazy shot hits the scoreboard and goes out of bounds and the game's over, and the Knicks end up winning that series, you guys can't tell me he's making the finals and still getting fired. Is that possible?
Now, if he make the finals, I don't see you get fired. But the thing of it is, watching that game with 5 minutes and something left, and they start jacking up all those damn threes, and then they kept turning the ball over, and they wouldn't stop playing deep. His calling is defense. They were jacking up threes and not stopping anybody. I said they're going to end up losing this damn game, and then they lost the game. And you can blame the players, but you got to damn sure blame the coach too, who didn't call a timeout one time to get them on board. We're going to do this now. Let's take some time off the clock, and then let's go to the hole. but you got people shooting 25 and 29 footers. That it just didn't make sense to me.
The other
No,
thing,
you're right. You're right.
The other thing I would add is, even if you're right, like Halliburton's shot to take him into OT in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals was absurd. I mean, the thing bounced near the roof of the Garden before it rolled in. But I think the Pacers still win that series, even if the Knicks win game 1. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's recency bias based on how well they played later. But for me, Thibodeau he presses the gas really hard all season, and his teams play really good defense in the regular season and give full effort in the regular season. And a lot of teams don't match that intensity in the regular season. And I think that's why he's always going to be a really good regular season coach. And then when everybody ramps up in the playoffs, it's like his teams lack the next gear because they play at it year round. And I think that's more of an indictment on the NBA than it is on Thibodeau, but I just don't think it's going to change.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair point too, man. That's a lot of people have said that. And listen, the fact of the matter is the proof is in the pudding. I mean, he's gone for a reason, right? Like, if Jalen Brunson and others had fought to keep him, can you imagine they would have let him go?
Nope.
Yeah.
I can't pick. Jalen Brunson is the star of this team. He's the most loved athlete in New York City right now. And he took a massive pay cut to stay. I think that guy has a ton of pull. And so even though he liked Thibodeau a lot, and even in the post-game presser the other day when he was asked about the idea of Tibbs leaving, and he seemed like annoyed with the question, ultimately he had to be on board with this. I just can't imagine you would tell Jalen Brunson, we don't care what you think.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
makes a lot of sense.
When Denver's coach got fired like a week before the playoffs, Joker had to be in on it. Maybe it's not his idea, but he's not stopping it, you know? Like, I mean, sometimes just
of course
how
silence.
Yeah. Talking with our friend Peter Rosenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline. You give Peter a follow at Rosenberg Radio. Dude, I did want to ask, because I follow a bunch of New York reporters, football reporters, and OTA season is, you know, in spring training, every baseball player is in the best shape of their life. That's like the running joke, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have positive things to report from OTAs, you're just not doing it right. Like, nobody's throwing interceptions. Nobody's got pads on. Everybody looks good. But it's really starting to feel, to me anyway, that whether it's real or it's contrived, there's starting to be some excitement about old Jackson Dart and the New York Giants. Am I reading that right from 200 miles away?
Well, yes, but I would just say that it started even like before anything. Like, they seem to be really thrilled with that pick. You know what I mean? Like, it considering they got a massive stud higher in the draft, you would think that would be the big story. And really, just because we know what quarterbacks are, like the quarterback is the everything. Everyone's been on Jackson Dart. I think they see that as their real coup, that they managed to get both. And they're so thrilled that they got Dart that he has, before he even threw a pass, there's been a lot of excitement. You know how shiny a new quarterback is. People get very excited.
Oh, yeah. The Giants are
I just don't know if it's based on anything yet, except that they got him.
Right. Well, I mean, what the hell could it be based on? I literally,
I know.
A friend of mine, a guy I know well, just tweeted out that it looks like Jackson Dart has developed some handshakes with specific receivers and running backs. It's like,
wow.
But dude, I remember once
that works until you don't throw him the ball.
Dog, I remember once a former coach in Ashburn called me out because Dwayne Haskins was playing ping pong his rookie year, and I tweeted out like, "Oh, Haskins really connected with his teammates playing ping pong." And the coach was like, "Dude, you gotta be kidding me! Like, everybody plays ping pong. Who gives a
rats?"
I understand where the tweets are coming from a, you know, just like a reporting perspective. With the quarterbacks, you go in on every single detail. Have you, as the Commanders fan you are, as the Burgundy and Gold fan you are, have you been looking at anything from OTAs down here? Has anything caught your eye?
No, honestly, not a thing. What? Give me the big headlines from OTA so far.
Everybody looks good. They're practicing hard. You do have three big names not there in McLaurin, Tunsil, and Lattimore. Various people have various levels of indignation about that, but next week's mandatory, and I think they'll all be there. Joe Witt, when they do the in-season Hard Knocks this year, Joe Witt's going to be an absolute star. Dude just tells it like it is at all times, has a real hard edge to him. I don't know how much will you watch the Hard Knocks? You're a busy man.
Well, I watch the Hard Knocks. Yes, we have never done any bit of Hard Knocks, so I'm in. Yes.
Good.
I've always rooted for us to get Hard Knocks. I want to see what it looks like. So, yeah, I'm fully in. I wish we had the real Hard Knocks, but I'll settle for the midseason.
See, I am more into the in-season one than I would be the preseason one, because I think the in-season, dude, you're seeing what is happening in real time as they're fighting for a playoff spot or winning the division or whatever. The preseason one, we're like conditioned to like that because it's older and we've watched it for probably close to 20 years. But dude,
I think more.
So much of the training camp time period that gets shown on Hard Knocks is just, it's good television, but it's pretty irrelevant to football.
You're totally right. I think the only reason I say it is because you're not sharing the time with other teams.
Right.
But you know what? It's definitely more intriguing. Now, listen, obviously, if the season goes the way we hope it all does, that will be great. If somehow we take, if Jayden takes a step back, if the team's not good and things are in bad shape, then I'll probably all be considerably less interested in it. But if things go the way I believe they will, and this is a team that's competing for the division and that people are talking about making a return to the championship game, yeah, I mean, who would not be so stoked to watch that? In fact, guys, I got a couple decisions to make. Listen, I go to games in D.C. here and there. Usually I end up going to at least one a year. But I like to keep an eye on that road schedule and see what's interesting. The fact that you have the opportunity in this moment to go see this team in Green Bay and in Kansas City, both before it gets freezing cold, is pretty incredible.
Which one are you leaning?
Well, so one of my best friends is an obsessive Packers fan who's always wanted me to go to Lambeau with him. And that is appealing, particularly because it's so early in the year. Like a warm game at Lambeau could be kind of fun, a cool way to take that in. But at the same time, guys, my guess is we won't have another game at Arrowhead during this version of the Chiefs. This is probably it.
Yeah, they don't get out there nearly as frequently. That's a great point, dude. If I had to pick one just on the venue, it's Lambeau. Lambeau's incredible, but the matchup of Jayden and Mahomes with Kelsey, you know what I mean? That's a really good point, dude.
Yeah, so those are the two I'm considering. I'm probably closer to doing Lambeau, but I do think the Chiefs one is appealing. But just the fact that we have games like this, I mean, in an average year, guys, as much as I'd say I'm looking forward to those years, it would all be with a sense of dread that it could just go so horribly wrong. To go into games against teams like that and feel like, yeah, I think they should win, is just it's a great place to be.
Absolutely. We'll let you run, man. Thank you very much for making time for us, dude.
All right, boys. Golf soon.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
That's our guy, Peter Rosenberg. Follow him at Rosenberg Radio, joining us via the Rude Guest Hotline.